Hey guys, I just wanted to make a real quick video about all the hoopla about Steve Jobs taking a medical leave of absence. I mean, come on, people. If you look at the statistics and the people who survived cancer and the type of cancer he's had and liver transplants and their percentage of living and life expectancy, this kind of thing is expected to happen, and I've known it's been going to happen for a long time. Will he be back? He might. I mean, he may surprise us all and come back yet again. He may run Apple from home for several years from now, or he may give it up altogether and let Tim Cook take over. Nobody really knows what he's going to do yet. And the point of this video is to say, don't dwell on it. It's not a big deal, because I'm sure Apple has the next 10 years laid out. I'm sure the next CEO will have Steve Jobs' playbook for the next 10 years in hand. I don't think Steve Jobs is going to die anytime soon, so I do think he will be having his input on a lot of things for at least a few more years. But the most drastic situation would be him just completely giving it up because he can't do it anymore. And I don't see Steve doing that unless he's completely just dead. I don't see him he'd run it from a hospital bed if he had to. I think that's just how Steve is, but maybe I'm wrong. But Apple's going to continue to be Apple. They've built a brand name that it goes beyond Steve Jobs now. And because a lot of the new adopters of Apple stuff don't care about Steve Jobs. They just know it's Apple stuff. You know, a lot of us long-term Apple fans know Steve Jobs. We admire the guy. We look up to him. You know, he's always been a role model for a lot of us. But a lot of people nowadays, Apple's so big, they don't care. To them, Apple is just like HP. Do they care who the CEO of HP is? No. So a lot of these people that have just come into the Apple world with iPhones and stuff, they don't care. I mean, it will affect the Apple stock. It'll go down, but it'll recover. It always does. It always has. And people need to just take a chill pill, because I don't think anything bad is going to happen in the immediate future. And the worst case scenario, when Jobs passes away, Apple will be just fine. Just fine. They have the most competent team in the world, as far as I'm concerned, to run that company the way that company needs to be run. Steve Jobs has he has embedded his personality into Apple. Okay, like no other CEO has with any other company. Steve Jobs' personality is embedded in Apple, and the employees that work at Apple embrace that. And I think that will continue to live on, even if Steve isn't around anymore. So everybody needs to chill. Not a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, don't get me wrong. I hope the guy's doing okay. But, I mean, we need to respect his privacy. We can talk about it, report on it. You know, he's a public figure. That's the way it is. Now, we don't need to be prying into his medical records and trying to see what he's fucking sick about and shit. We need to try to support the guy and try to stay out of that aspect of it while trying to report how he's doing and what's going on with the company and stuff. They said he had to talk with the shareholders, so I'm sure they probably know what's going on. Maybe not as far as the medical aspect of it, but I'm sure they knew this was coming. I'm sure they all talked about it. It's all worked out. Steve's got it worked out. He's dealt with this before. Don't freak. Worst case scenario, everything's still going to be okay. Like I said via Twitter, no matter what happens to Steve Jobs, my 27-inch iMac is always going to kick ass. That's not going to change. And it's not going to change with the next generation, or the next generation, or the next 10 iterations of the iMac. I can just about 100% guarantee that. So take a chill pill, guys. No big deal. Sit back, relax, enjoy these upcoming product launches of Apple. Probably at least, what, a new iPad, a new iPhone next year, this year, I'm sorry. Maybe a few new accessories like they release every year, a few new iterations of the iMac. Everything's going to go just fine whether Steve's there or not. This is all already laid out. It's all already planned. So just sit back and wait and see what happens. I'm telling you, people need to listen to what I'm telling you. Everything's going to be just fine. OS 10, brothers.